Good morning, Sean here with the Seabreeze Pool Service team. Actually, just an early morning heading into work. We are going to be closing by 12 o'clock today being Friday, so that way our staff can have ample time to get where they need to go, and any last minute preparations they need to plan for their family. But I wanted to put a message out there. Usually we've talked about some of the things, what to do, but one thing I haven't really mentioned is the why. And I'm still seeing folks with doing some things that we don't recommend, and or whatnot, which is fine. You need to make the best decision for you. But one thing that has come up a lot is about draining your pool. We go to a lot of these meetings, statewide associations, training with major manufacturers, and then we also go to nationwide shows and that. And there's a lot of engineers and studies and those types of things that are done, as well as the field knowledge. But with that said, in that experience, I want to come to you and say that you don't want to drain your pool, and the why. You wouldn't want, as far as draining your pool, if you want to get it to the normal operating level that it would be, about halfway up your skimmer or halfway on the tile mark, that's fine, that's great. But the reason why you wouldn't want to drain your pool is if you did drain it, let's say completely. Let's start with that and try to get you to understand this. The water table is high here in Florida anyways to begin with. We have some pools that we've done. You want a trained professional to do, because there's some precautions and some things and steps you need to do to drain a pool properly without doing serious damage or catastrophic damage to your swimming pool. But with that said, if you did drain a pool completely and you have groundwater, you could literally pop the pool out of the ground. It's called pool pop, and we have insurance to do that, and we also have the experience, so that way we've never seen one that we've done ourselves. We've seen other contractors that aren't experienced, aren't licensed, aren't insured, those types of things. I've seen the aftermath and damage from those, and we do have some pictures up on our Facebook regarding that, what it looks like. It's a pretty horrible situation. But with that said, if you drain the pool and you have groundwater present, that's hydrostatic pressure. The pool can literally float like a boat. It can literally come ripping out of the ground. It makes a horrible noise, from what I've heard, and it can literally come up out of the ground. I've seen pools come up as many as 3 feet out of the ground, pulling the pool and the entire deck out of the ground. Same concept applies. You got hurricane, flooding, or those types of things where the water level is going to be higher anyways. So you have hydrostatic pressure. Some cases you could have, the ground water could be level with the ground, where the water levels come up. If you partially drained your pool or lowered your level lower than you normally would, you've got hydrostatic pressure on your pool. And that could literally lift your pool up out of the ground, whether it's a few inches or more. And that can happen. I've seen in situations where it wasn't even a hurricane, it was just some tropical weather that we were dealing with several years ago. It was just some heavy rains and some, not really, well, there was some flooding. There was flooding and it was a home that was on a golf course. And it was a slight elevation going, away from the home. It didn't look like anything drastic. It would have never been an area that I would have expected just from visually looking at it. But they literally had water in the pool. Thank God they had water in their pool, and it was filled. But they still had a crack that formed from stress of the hydrostatic pressure underneath their pool. And it was a crack where it was actually pushing sand through the bottom of the pool. It was something that they were able to fix, but it was a serious structural repair that was unavoidable because they didn't drain the pool. There was still water in the pool. If there was not water in that pool would have come completely out of the ground. But anyways, with that said, I just want you to understand the hydrostatic pressure is the reason why you don't want to drain your pool. The other thing is, if you want to make sure you know how to drain your pool, we've got some videos on how to do that. You could drain it, to its safe level, halfway up the skimmer, halfway up the tile, and do that. And then shut your power down when the the storm starts coming away. That way you don't have power going to your motor and your equipment. So if we do have some puddling or flooding a little bit, that your equipment won't be damaged. So keep that in mind. Just wanted to get that out. Hopefully that's some helpful information, and we'll be putting some posts out there what to do after the storm, after the hurricane. The other thing I'd like to say, coming from a building background, people are looking at their decks, the pool decks, and they're thinking, oh well, the pool deck puddles, and my concern is the house is going to flood. Well, imagine if you didn't have a pool and it was just a flat concrete deck and you didn't have a pool. You would still have the same puddling and the same situation. It doesn't change. So draining the pool isn't gonna necessarily save your home from flooding. There is a little bit more surface area, but if you had a patio and you didn't have a pool, you still have the same problem. So with that said, I've seen some folks sandbagging their doors and the sliders, and that's fine, but generally have about a step, about a 3-inch step or more going into your home, which helps. So if you got some puddling, you don't have anything to be concerned, or shouldn't have anything to be concerned about. The other thing to think about is check your gutters, check your downspouts, make sure they're clear of obstructions, make sure they're clear of any dirt or debris. I've seen some downspouts where they get, crushed from, get crushed or something like that. Also, you got deck drains. They are slotted drain in the deck. You clear the ends. You don't need to dig up too much, just you maybe want to shovel off the ends, pull some of the grass back, maybe make some last minute preparations, because we still got a couple days here, probably got today until late tomorrow to prepare. But you can dig some of the dirt or dig some of the debris away from the ends of those drains, so that way, if you do have some puddling and that water can get out there as quickly as possible. So hopefully that helps. You guys have an awesome day, and let's just make the best out of the current situation we have.